Hi, my name is Cameron Safel, and I'm here to interview my dad, Paul Safel, about his startup business out in Casper, Wyoming. We're going to start off with a few basic questions. What exactly is your startup business?
Granite Peak Energy Services is a service company that does everything from building pipelines to building truck stations where you bring the oil in and dump it into the pipeline. We do all different types of construction projects, and we also build projects to operate ourselves.
What exactly made you want to start this startup business?
There was a big need in the industry. There were a lot of midstream companies that wanted these different um, facilities built, and there weren't very many people that had the expertise to pull it together. So we saw an opportunity to build for other companies and also build some assets for ourselves to operate and charge others to use.
Did y'all have a business plan?
Yes, we did. We started to develop a business plan about almost a year ago, and it's an ongoing process. We got a group of guys together and just started to put down the different opportunities that we felt were in the industry. And part of the business plan, we identified who the customers were in the markets. We identified the area that we wanted to cover, which was the General Rockies area. And we also had to secure some financing and some investors. All that came into play. The business plan is an ever-evolving process. It changes quite often based on what the opportunities are. We have to adjust it, but the main basis of it is solid. But occasionally we have to change where we are and the different people that the different customers that we focus on.
In my class, I've heard that business plans are extremely hard to plan. Did you have prior experience with business plans?
Yes, I've had quite a bit of experience with different companies putting business plans together, everything from trucking companies to finance companies, retail type stores. They're all pretty similar. We've always just focused on the markets that we're going to go into, the customers, how we're going to attract the customers, pricing models, financing. So they all have the same basic ideas. It just varies depending on the type of business that you're in.
How did you obtain your initial startup capital for this business?
This business, we have investors who all put in money. We also have secured lines of credit with the bank that can cover any large projects that we have. And we've also secured long-term financing for any projects that we end up building for ourselves that we're going to own and operate ourselves. So we've got investor financing with equity, and we have debt financing with the banks.
Can you explain a little bit more about the equity portion?
The equity, are you wanting to know the...
So is it if someone gives money, they get an X amount of the company?
Right.
Okay.
So the way that that's set up is we have a group of investors and we have a group of operators, and the investors who are not active in the company, they are putting money into the company for equity, and the people that are operating the company are getting equity, which is ownership,
Okay.
For their sweat equity.
Okay. How did you choose your founding team members for this startup?
This startup was the group that we formed, pulled together a group of guys that had experience in this industry and in the construction part of the industry. So found a 20-year veteran who's been building pipelines and truck dump stations and different types of business or different types of assets in the midstream business. So I brought on somebody as the construction guy, and then also brought in somebody who's got a lot of the actual contacts in the business. And so I just found two people that are really ingrained in this industry, know people and know how to do it.
So far, what has been the biggest struggle?
Probably the biggest struggle right now has been the downturn in the oil, and that a lot of these midstream companies that we are marketing to uh, don't have the budgets, so they all want to do different projects. They all have been pricing different projects out, but nobody has that capital budget right now because oil prices are so low. So the only jobs really that are being awarded right now are things that have to be done. For example, pipeline leaks, repairs of pipelines, different things like that. So that's been our largest challenge.
How many hours per day do you work, and how many days per week do you
Oh,
work?
so as everybody knows, owning your own business is not a cakewalk, and it's not a holiday. So we work 6 to 7 hour or 6 to 7 days a week, every week, um, and we're working all day, 10, 12 hours every day, and it's doing everything from trying to secure business to actually doing the projects and also bidding the projects out.
If you had to give one piece of advice to upcoming entrepreneurs, what would you tell them to do?
Make sure you do your homework. Make sure you really understand your business, understand where you're going to get your money from, which is a big part. Many people starting up a business don't realize how much cash a new business can actually eat. Even if you're making money, you don't necessarily have cash, so you have to be prepared to be able to have enough cash flow um, to keep your business running. Um, like I said before, a good example with this is if we get a $5 million pipeline project that we're having to build for somebody else, you can't pre-bill, so you have to have that money. So you'll always have more money out than you have coming in. That's something that you really have to understand.
Perfect. Well, once again, my name's Cameron Safel, and this is my dad, Paul Safel from Granite Peak Industries, and that concludes our interview. Thank you.